Apple Vision Pro didn't launch for long, but whether you like it or not, you must admit that the world will never be the same again. In this video, I will speak about how this new device impacts us VR enthusiasts and also the rest of the normal people. I want to clarify that I don't own a Vision Pro headset, and I will speak purely from the perspective of a spectator of this historical moment. Let's get started. The Vision Pro was released in the United States on February 2nd, and a lot of people with deep pockets even got as far as flying for a couple of hours to buy one. If you are not part of the Apple ecosystem or don't have $3,500 extra dollars without knowing what to do with them, this device might feel like it has nothing to do with you. Well, I'm here to tell you how wrong that mindset is. Yes, most of us will likely never touch the Apple Vision Pro for the rest of our lives, but the effect this headset had and will continue to have on our society is a huge plus in my book. From the beginning, Apple did its best to not associate their device with the other VR and MR headsets that currently existed on the market. For that reason, they insisted that the headset will be called a spatial computing device and didn't allow the apps it will be able to run to be named VR apps. Sadly for them, the majority of the population either can't or doesn't want to see the difference. Because of that, the awareness of the ones who normally had nothing to do with the VR and MR ecosystems has greatly increased since the launch of this device. I will say it again, no matter what your opinion about Apple is, I think we can all agree that they are one of the few companies with a reputation and ability to change the view of the masses. Besides having regular users with almost a cult-like faith in every product they develop, the brand itself is associated with premium quality and exclusivity. The moment they released a headset, the awareness of this kind of technology automatically started to spread to the ones who until now look at this kind of device as an overpriced toy or didn't even know of its existence. Let me give you an example. When Quest 3 launched, despite my interest in the topic, I didn't see any posts related to the device on my social platforms. Now, with the Apple Vision Pro, I have friends who had no prior interest in VR speaking about posts related to this device appearing in their feed. If you are still not convinced, I have even more. Let's look at Casey Neistat, a huge YouTuber with over 12 million subscribers that didn't have anything to do with the virtual and mixed reality ecosystems until now. He not only walked with the Apple Vision Pro on his head in one of the biggest cities in the world, but the video he made managed to get 6 million views and still growing. Taking into account the content he usually creates, most of his subscribers probably had no prior interest in a VR headset. But now that a creator they trust shows his excitement about this device, that opinion might change. In a similar situation is Marcus Brownlee with a tech review channel that has over 18 million subscribers. He indeed made previous videos reviewing VR and MR tech like the Meta Quest Pro, but his audience didn't show much interest in them compared with the average of his channel. Now, if we look at his recent videos about the Apple Vision Pro, all three of them perform better than the average of his channel, and in total they reach over 38 million views. I could go on and on with this kind of examples, but I don't want to repeat myself until the next day. The point I'm trying to make is that the new spatial computing device from Apple managed to grab the attention of people who otherwise would want nothing to do with a VR or MR product. It's true that not all of these people will turn into hardcore VR enthusiasts overnight, but I can bet my Quest 3 on the fact that in some of them a spark of desire has already been formed. Finally, we have reached the point when I tell you what I think the benefits are for us, the current VR enthusiasts. Because most of people are not made of money, likely they cannot afford to buy an Apple Vision Pro. Realizing that and still wanting to try a similar experience, a good percentage of them will start to consider the Quest 3, which can do 90% of what the Vision Pro does, while costing almost $3,000 less. I think you already realized when I'm trying to go with this. The more people the Apple Vision Pro managed to impress, the more likely it is for some of them to look for a cheaper alternative in other consumer-level headsets. Once these new people join the VR and MR ecosystem, they will be the building blocks of the communities we need for companies to justify investing more of their money in better devices and experiences. I dare to make a wild guess and say that in the following months, the sale of the Quest 3 will increase, especially because of the reason I mentioned to you. Additionally, Apple set a new standard about what can be achieved with a standalone device when the price is not a limitation. The most outstanding feature in my perspective is the pass-through that seems to make the virtual screens and objects feel like they have a real presence in your space. From now on, other companies like Meta will try to replicate the same feeling but at a lower price in order to captivate the people who dream of such an experience. I'm curious to see how many of you agree with me and how many consider that I'm just another overexcited Apple fanboy. Please let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, I recommend you watch this next. Goodbye.